Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What's going on? And I hope y'all are well. This is Abu Hafsa Abdul Malik Claire getting at y'all. I wanted to do something a little bit lighter today because I've been quite serious, and that's cool, but we need to be a little bit light. Recite with me will be coming up soon again. As you know, that's a series that I've been doing with Surah Rahman. But this isn't about that. I want to shout out to sponsors, Islam by Touch. Please support what's going on. I really can't say it enough because I say it in every video now. I want to really get you guys to go there and support islambytouch.com. Islam by Touch is an organization, in case you don't know, and if you've been watching my videos, you should know by now that this is the commercial part of the video, where Islam by Touch is distributing English translations of the Quran in Braille. We've never had that before. Now we do. So Islam by Touch is doing that. They've been doing it now since about 2016, which makes them approximately 3 years old, let's say. I've been working with them since around that time as well. So I know them personally. Brother Nader is basically family to me. Him, his wife, his kids. I've met them. I've traveled with Nader extensively. I know him. I've done business with him, I've traveled with him, and I've worked with him. So all of these things, alhamdulillah, we know each other. And I know that from what I know about him, he's trustworthy and honest, and he's really trying hard to push this organization forward, and I'm helping him. So islambytouch.com is where y'all need to go. Please do that. Like the video, share it, and go visit the website. I want to talk about blind questions today. Blind, because I got asked yesterday by two different people on two different occasions a really strange question, and I'm going to deal with that a little bit later. But blind questions. Growing up without my eyesight has presented a plethora of interesting questions that I get from people. Either in one of two categories generally. Either in the disabled category, where questions like how do you eat? I get asked that question. How do you eat? Which, I'm not a small guy, so obviously I know how to eat. So I get asked questions like that, all the way up to questions like, does Allah let you see things that no one else sees? Which, they go, like I said, two categories, either subhuman or superhero, right? That's what I categorize them as, subhuman or superhero. Now, the superhero ones are quite comical, and I guess I prefer those because everybody wants a superpower, right? Like, I want to be able to spin webs from my hands. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. I like the Hulk. The Hulk was always my guy because he could just pick up a car and just toss it across the parking lot. I always wanted to be able to do that, especially when they park, incorrectly at the masjid. Wouldn't the Hulk have some fun at the masjid? Right? Brothers always parking properly. He would just walk out and rearrange the parking lot. It'd be great. Anyway, so we get asked weird. Like, I remember walking down the jetway to get to the airplane, and I was walking, with the guy, and I'm walking with him, and he goes, "So were you born like that?" And I was like what? Because I don't, honestly, half the time I don't even think about my eyesight like that. It doesn't enter my head. That's why I don't normally talk about it. It's not that I don't want to talk about it that much. It's just that I just don't talk about it. I don't think about it. I refuse to spend my life being a disability, if that makes any sense to y'all. So it's not something I really think about all the time. I obviously have to live with it, and I do. But it's to the point now where it's automatic. I wake up in the morning, and I do whatever I need to do, and I go to bed at night just like everybody else. I may do things a little differently than everybody else, but generally, I just live. I don't really think about it. So when someone asks me things like that, were you born like that? I'm like, okay, what is he talking about? Was I born like what? Like human? Was I born? So he's like, I said, what do you mean? He goes, the eye thing. So now I know what he's talking about. The eye thing, right? It's like, okay, the eye thing? What's the eye? Okay. Oh, yeah, these eyes. Yeah. Was I? So I'm like, yeah. And I'm getting annoyed because it's like, okay, when you get asked questions all the time, and sighted people, I know you don't really mean to do that. It just gets, it's like, here we go again. Like, really? Like, it's like, okay, I guess it would be kind of equivalent to a degree if, a black person always gets asked if they can play ball all the time. Can you play ball? Oh, you're black. Can you play ball? Oh, you're black. Can you sing? Right? Like, oh, gosh, another one. Were you born like that with the eye thing? Now, I get it if we know each other a little bit. When you know me a minute, you can ask me that, and that's cool. We're good. Like, I don't hate the questions, but I just met homeboy. Like, I just met him, like, 30 seconds ago. You know what I mean? And we're going to the plane, and he's like, were you born like that? I'm like, yeah, I guess. The eye thing. And I'm like, oh, the eye thing. Yeah, I was born with the eye thing. And I smiled at him, because now I'm just being sarcastic. And he goes, well, you're doing a good job. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just walking. And you're leading me, so I'm only walking where you go. So that's one of the things. Like, I'm doing a good job by walking. Like a subhuman kind of deal where it's like walking would be a challenge. If I was born like that, I'm obviously used to it, so walking shouldn't be a problem. That's one of them. Annoying. I remember I was crossing a street. This was a while back. And this lady walks up to me. And I heard her coming, so it was what it was. I thought she's going to cross the street too, and I'm going to cross. But she gets right in front of me, like, close. Like, yo, you're in my space, close. And she goes, do you need any help? And I'm like, why is this short little lady yelling at me? Like, what's the deal? I don't understand. I didn't do nothing to her. So I'm like, no! And I yelled back. And honestly, at the time when she yelled at me, I thought... she's a little older. She's older than me anyway. Maybe she's deaf. Maybe that's why she's yelling at me. So I yelled back, and she jumped. Like, I kind of felt her presence leave my presence quick. Oh, I'm sorry. And then she starts apologizing. You know how white folks always, when and honestly, I'm going to say this too. The majority of these questions that I get, generally, are from Caucasians. The first one wasn't, so I kind of break that rule. But in general, the majority of these questions I get are from Caucasian people. Black folks don't ask me questions like that. Not really. And we get to know each other, they do, but not at the beginning like that. So she goes, do you need any help? And I'm like, no! And she jumped. And then she starts apologizing, and I'm like, no, you're good. Are you okay? Like, can you hear okay? And she goes, yeah, but, I just thought you couldn't hear. And I'm like, I could hear, but I can't see. And it ended well. And I crossed the street, and she went on her way. But and I get it. It's a lot of times it's not people meaning to be offensive. It's just a lack of education when it comes to us, right? A lack of education. Like, I went to a public school when I was a kid. I went to a school for blind people up until about the age of 10, if not sooner, probably about 10. And then I would get either the teacher that, there's three kinds of teachers that I would get. The ones in the middle were great. But I would either get the teacher who coddles me, he's special, and she'd like take my hands like that. He's so special, and we want to make sure, and she'd speak like I'm a 3-year-old, right? We want to make sure that Jerome is treated just like everyone else, because he is a welcome member to our class. And I'm sitting there going, I hate this woman right now. Because if you want to treat me normally, quote unquote, don't be doing that in front of the class like that. And I'm sitting, and she would make me sit right in the front. That teacher, normally, you'd have to sit right in the front with that teacher. And I used to have a ball in classes like that, because I learned over the years that teachers like that, they're good people, but you need to educate them. And eventually, she'd come around. Those teachers were cool, because eventually you'd make them laugh a little bit, and then they just get used to you, because they're not bad people. The teachers that I hated were the ones that would say things like, I don't really think you should be here because you need to go to a special school. And I've had teachers actually tell me that, like face to face. You should not be in my class. So you just do whatever you want and I'll pass you. I had a teacher tell me that. Which, excuse me, when you're 15, you be like, all right, I ain't got to do nothing. Let me just stay here. And I'll just put my headset on and listen to Dr. Dre or whatever. Because that's what she told me. She said, I don't really need you here, and I don't think you should be here. And I'm just going to, like, give you a passing mark, so you just do whatever you want. I've had teachers that actually let me go home during class, because I went to, and this was kind of stupid, actually, and I don't blame the teacher for this. I got put in, I think it was 8th grade, I got put in a drafting class, right? Now, drafting, if y'all don't know, is like drawing, like plans and stuff, like buildings and whatnot. So how I'm going to sit there and draw? Like, what am I going to do? Break out a Crayola and just start drawing lines and building skyscrapers and stuff? So that one I kind of get her. She's like, man, you're wasting your time being here. So I would just read in her class. That's kind of where I read Malcolm X and whatnot around that time. Yeah, would it be around that time? Yeah, it might have been, roughly. So that one I didn't blame her. She was a nice lady, but they were messing with me. But my grade 9 math teacher was a problem. I almost said another word. She was a problem because she's like, you shouldn't be here and I don't need you to be here. And then because she didn't teach me grade 9 math, the rest of my high school math suffered. And she really did me damage. I ended up having to really struggle in high school because of my lack of grade 9 math, because she just passed me and let me do whatever I wanted to do. So, we get these kind of questions all the time, like subhuman. These are the subhuman ones. Some of them are funny. Some of them are not. I had another lady in, I think it was Denver, Colorado. I was getting off the airplane in Denver, and Denver's a cool city. I remember I spent about 5 or 6 days out there. And she meets me at the plane, and she's real short. Like, she's like, I'm about 6 feet tall, and she came to below my shoulder. So she must have been like 4'10" or somewhere around there anyway, just give or take. And she's a nice lady. And that's why the story is funny, because I wasn't offended. She's actually a very, very nice lady. And she's older, too. She's an older white woman, and again. And all these teachers that gave me problems were white teachers. People wonder why it is that I gravitate towards black folks so much. And this is why. Because Caucasians over the years in general, not all, and I hate when people say that, so don't say not all in my comment section because it's annoying. It's never all of anyone. But this old lady, she comes, and I have to put my hand on her shoulder. Usually we take your elbow when we walk with y'all. When we walk with you, we take your elbow. So I had to put my hand on her shoulder because she's short, mashallah. And Allah created her that way, and it's not a knock on her. But this is how I have to walk with her. So she goes to me, we're walking a little bit, and she goes, okay, can I ask you a really personal question? And I'm like, I guess, sure. Now, this is how you do it, sighted people. This is actually how you do it. Can I ask you a really personal question? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, were you born without your eyesight? See? Genius. Don't just go, were you born like that? Were you born without your eyesight? I say, yes, I was. Oh, okay, so you're used to it, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So that's how you actually deal with that. You don't just blurt things out to us. Just ask us. Can I ask you a question? Sure. Most of the time, we'll say yes to you. You know what I mean? But if you get at me in my space like that, then I'm gonna have fun with you. I'm not gonna be rude to you, but I'm gonna make a sarcastic, because I'm extremely sarcastic generally. If y'all don't know by now. So she goes, okay, so I'm gonna get you to your luggage and all that stuff. But then she starts going with me quickly through the airport, and she goes, blind guy coming, blind guy coming, blind guy coming through, blind guy coming. And I was like, wow, really? She just started doing that. And she did it in such a way that it wasn't offensive. It was funny. And I'm just smiling and running. She's running through the airport with me. Blind guy coming through, blind guy. And that was quite humorous to me. So there's certain times when it's funny, and certain times when it's offensive. The first story I told you was offensive because he didn't know me like that, and he just blurted, "Were you born like that?" Like that, in that tone. And I'm like, why? Like, I don't even want to talk to you, dog. Like, let's just get to the airplane and get out of here. What else? Now we're gonna get to the superhuman ones. The superhuman ones are interesting. I get those a lot. I've been getting those since I became Muslim more than ever before. One brother had insist, and we almost actually had a physical altercation because I don't like people kissing me. As many of you know, I hate it. I really don't. Especially brothers. I don't. If you kiss me, you need to be have given birth to me or married to me. I don't like being kissed by people. I don't like it. It's an invasion of my space, and I don't care about Arab culture. And I'm sorry, y'all can get mad and unfollow me if you want to. Y'all kiss each other. I don't care. I'm cool. Whatever. Just don't put your lips on me. I don't like it. Period. And that's why I don't want to go to the Middle East, because I don't want to have a bunch of men kissing on me. I hate it. So I had a brother who was insisting on kissing my eyes because he thought that there's barakah in them. And I'm like, they don't work. The barakah is when they work. But he had it in his head, and this was in the UK, because the UK is a wonderful place. He had it in his head that he should be kissing my eyes because he wanted the barakah. And me and him almost actually had a physical fight because he came right in my space and like touched my head. So, you know, we have the European uppercut and we separated ourselves from him. But this kind of obnoxious foolishness is really something. You know, we get that quite a bit. Because, of course, people have mysticism around blind people for some reason. Y'all think we're like monks and stuff, and we just... Now, my videos are pretty basic, so it's kind of like perpetuating that stereotype. I just have a blank wall behind me. Look, he's sitting in his cave. You know what I mean? His blind cave. You'd be surprised how many people think that blind people are this, you know, it is 10 a.m. angelic, monkish kind of people. And I know some ratchet blind people. Ratchet, they're worse than some of y'all. Like, they're ratchet. They go to clubs and they drink alcohol and they party and they have girls. And this was before Islam. I don't know too many blind people that do that now. I don't know too many blind people at all, except for the Islam by touch people. I don't know any. Which is another story I'll get to in a minute. Anyway, so this brother had it in his head that there's some barakah in my eyes and he wanted to kiss them. And if you meet me outside, do not kiss me. Sisters, thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair, because none of y'all try to kiss me, which is cool. Which is why I like doing sisters programs, actually. Because I don't have to deal with the closeness and people getting in my face like that. So, yeah, so he was adamant on that. And me and him almost had a physical fight because of it. I get something in my eyes. So, yeah, so there's that. And another question, and this is what I was talking about earlier, alluding to. One brother calls me up, and I'm in a grocery store. I'm walking through the grocery store, and I think I was with a friend of mine. Yeah, he called a friend of mine. He didn't call me. So he called a friend, and he was having a dinner. MashaAllah. He's having like a, I don't know, like he's donating the food and stuff and donating everything, and he wants to have a dinner. So the brother who's with me says, yeah, Abdul Malik is with me. So he passes the phone to me, and he says, Salaam alaikum and stuff. And then he goes, what does he say? I need you to... Sorry. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This really just makes me laugh. I need you to go and round up all the blind people and bring them to the dinner. Now, I thought, because my imagination just kind of snaps sometimes, and it just wanders off, just like it kind of did. So I start laughing at things, and no one knows why I'm laughing. So he said to me, he said, I need you to go and round up all the blind people and bring them to the dinner. And I thought, I saw myself, like, in my head, like riding a horse with a rope, looking for blind people. And I'm like, how am I going to look for them when I can't see them? So I need another person on the horse. So I thought I'd put my wife on the horse in front of me, And she would be like, over there, and just swing the rope, and I would lasso a blind person. And I just saw myself doing this, like walking around looking for guide dogs, blind people with canes trying to cross the street. I just like throw my rope and just lasso them and take them to this dinner. And it just made me laugh. Like the imagery of that in my head just made me crack up in the grocery store. We don't all know each other. I don't know any blind people. I know two blind people, and one of them I don't even know very well. And I'm saying that because it's Nader from IslamByTouch.com and his wife. That's it. I don't know no more blind people like that. I don't work with blind people like that. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I have. Oh, I know another one from Canadian Association of Muslims with Disabilities. So there's 3 that I know. And I don't know. I know Nader the most out of all 3. So really, honestly, I only know one. Like, to that extent. I worked with the other 2 a little bit. I met his wife once or twice, I believe. But I don't know her like that. And then the other sister, I work with her on occasion, but we don't know each other like that. So it's like, we don't all hang out together. Like a bunch of bats hanging, up in the roof. A bunch of blind people hanging out in a group together. Like, we don't do that. I don't do that anyway. I don't know about the rest of them. So it just seems very funny to me that he thought I knew all the blind people. Like I could just grab them up and just round them up and bring them like my posse, my crew. All right, y'all. We're all deep into the... I got one-sided guy in the front leading all of us. And I thought about that too. A big conga line of blind people walking through the party, like 20 deep. You know what I mean? How would that look? So these are some of the questions that I get asked. And there's a lot more. Oh, I get asked a lot if I touch people's faces. Do you feel people's face? And I'm like, how creepy and cringy is that? Like, how am I going to walk up to someone and just start doing this? Oh, wow, your bone structure. Your bone structure is amazing, right? You start doing all this here. Looking at people's chins and cheekbones. And you have the bone structure of a model. Or, brother, mashallah. See, you go to jail behind that. That's some hashtag Me Too business right there. You walk up to a woman and start grabbing her forehead like that. Come on now. You don't do that. Now, maybe if we know each other a little bit. I don't even do that. I don't even know... I might have done that to my wife. Maybe. I'm trying to think if I actually did. Because I don't see people like that. Me personally, and I can only speak for myself, I see people attributes. Like, someone's kindness makes them beautiful. If that makes sense to y'all. Someone's sense of humor makes them pretty. Someone's voice, someone's kindness, someone's, their personality is what I see. I don't really care about facial structure or bone structure or any other thing like that so much. I can get past a lot of things like that. Now, I do kind of have a preference in some things, obviously, but if your personality shines above that, I can get past a lot. Like, that's just it. Like, mashallah. It just is what it is. I don't want to get into my own personal preferences, but they can be overshadowed easily by personality and things of that nature. So I don't have to go up and start filling people's faces. It's bizarre. And it's just, to me, it just seems cringy to do that. And that's not what I do. So I'm not going to be walking up and like touching on people's faces and things of that nature, because you get arrested doing that kind of thing. And I'm not ready to go to jail. So, but the one that sparked this whole video, and this is the last one, I'll end with it, was yesterday. I got asked by 2 separate people, like, I don't know, an hour or so apart, if I can read hands, like if I can read the lines in your, and I'm like, I don't know. That's not even, I don't even know if I believe it. Well, I know I don't believe in all of that. I don't believe in that. You read somebody's hands and tell their future. I unless you have like dots on your hands, like braille written on your hands, like a braille tattoo pat, maybe even then, because it's not raised up. Then I could probably read it if it had braille on it. But I can't be looking at people's hands and going, wow. Now, some blind people probably do that. And it's in order to get money from y'all. That may be how it is. Where I'm like, yeah, I can read your hands for like $10 or something. And then I tell you everything you want to hear. So that's stupid. But that's what I think some blind people have done, because I don't believe anyone has the ability to see the future. Allah Himself knows the future, and that's it. So this kind of little gimmicky things that blind people may have done over the years, it's now reflecting on all of us. And I think Daredevil is pretty cool, but I can't do what Daredevil does. And Bird Box is pretty cool too, but I can't do what they do. So just like I do things differently than you guys in many things, but at the end of the day, I'm your brother. You know, that's it. I'm your brother. I'm a husband. I am a father. I am a son. Not a Holy Spirit, but I am a father, and I am a son, and I am a husband, and I'm your brother, and that's it. I don't need to be more than that. I don't need to be called no sheikh. I'm not put on no pedestal because I'm not superhuman and I'm not subhuman. I'm just human. I'm your brother, and I love that. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It's a little bit light. Please go support islambytouch.com. It's a bit long, but I hope y'all enjoyed it anyway. Jazakumullah kullu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. How long? 26 minutes. Wow. Anyway, I'm out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.